I think that's also a weakness in Sarah's character as well, in terms of she saw how the sort of John Connor's father like unloaded clip after clip into the Terminator, blew him up, everything, and they couldn't stop him with like the guns, and she didn't think of another way or another method of stopping a potential Terminator coming back, as a instead of just having like shed full of like guns and stuff like that. So I thought maybe they could have shown some type of development in that sense. And again, like you mentioned there, it was a bit of a weak point where it's not shown them like trying to figure out, because like they've seen so many times throughout like the whole movie that it's very difficult to kill this Terminator because it's a more advanced version. It has all like the shape-shifting properties to it, and it doesn't show them trying to develop a way to kind of like deal with that essentially. So yeah, that's something I did pick out as well.
And I think that's easy to fix. So here's how I would rewrite Terminator 2, one of the best movies ever made.
Oh, you sure you want to go down this path?
Yes, let's go. So I think she should have planned for it. Like, it should not have been a coincidence. Like, she should have spent the last 10 years, 7 years scoping out places that can kill a Terminator and keep a list. And so when they're fleeing from the Terminator says, we can't kill him. Our weapons aren't strong enough. And then Sarah hands him a list of locations and she says, pick one. And then that's like 10 different places in Los Angeles that have like the temperature or like the machinery to kill a Terminator. Like, this time she should have been prepared. That's how he fixed that.
But to be fair, because there was a scene where they mentioned that, like, obviously John mentioned that she was shacking up with different guys, kind of learning off them so she could learn herself. So at the same time, it's like, would she even have time to do that? Because she was learning for herself as well as having to teach John as well. So it's like, that takes time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's part of the preparation though. It's like, if you're learning from other people in terms of like how to survive and how to stop a Terminator, like Daniel's mentioned, is that part of it is knowing what you need and where you need to take the Terminator to try and actually kill it. Because if you can't attack it or you can't tackle it in sort of public open spaces and it's sort of invulnerable to sort of all these like bullets and explosions, etc., then you have to have an idea as to how, when the Terminator comes, you have to have an idea as to how you're going to stop the Terminator when it does come.
In the first movie, she was only reacting, right? And it was chance that they happened to end up in a factory. But the second time around, she's been preparing, right? And so it's a little bit, like you say, it's a little bit of a weak point that she has been preparing for everything except for how to kill a Terminator.
Well, but to be fair, if she's gonna prepare to kill a Terminator, she's commencing a journey that she's not ready for. So she is preparing, but she's preparing herself first, and then she needs to prepare John, and then she would have to prepare to kill the Terminator. So there's three stages.
I don't think she knows for sure that there's another Terminator coming, but the possibility has to exist, right? And so it seems a bit strange that, like, I think almost everything she does is preparing for Judgment Day, but there's got to be a possibility that another Terminator would be sent through. And that she just ignores that possibility completely, I think, is a little bit weak. And that then leads to the weak point in the story where the resolution is not a character moment for Sarah. It's just another coincidence that they end up in this factory. It is a character moment that she's strong enough and perseveres enough to get to the point that she gets to. It's just, I think it would have been so much stronger if the entire thing had been a trap for the Terminator that Sarah said like 5 years ago. And it's just been sitting there waiting for the Terminator to show up. I think that would just have been much stronger, and that would have fixed the one big weak point in the story, which is the ending, in my opinion.